when we don't need the election, don't waste that money for the election. Allow the government to continue. We don't bother. Because we don't gain anything since 1979. Then if TINUBU should come in, peradventure he came in. You know, people are clamoring that maybe TINUBU has settled me. Maybe he has given me money, but why is he turning around? I'm not God. I'm not after TINUBU. I'm not a politician. I'm not a government prophet. I'm not a Labayo. The country did not belong to Christians. There was a time when they decided to go and bring Israel to be part of those people who are protecting the security of Nigeria. But just for them to do whatever they want to do. When they are killing Christians in Kaduna, the Christian in Enugu, the Christian in Imo State, the Christian in Ondo State, the Christian in Lagos State, they said they are helping them in what? In prayer. They are cutting off the head of your co-brother. And when you look at the book of the Acts of the Apostles 13.
For more prophecies and gospel news around the world, subscribe to 12 Star TV and turn on notifications.
Sir, thank you very much. When you look at the book of John 14, from verse 1 to 5, he said, don't allow your what? Your mind to be troubled. Only believe me. That's Jesus Christ. That's in my Father's house. There are many mansions. But you remember in the book of Isaiah 9 from verse 6 to 10, he said, we are going to give you a son, the only son of that man. And when you look at what happened, in the book of Joshua, Joshua 1, 1 to 10, then Joshua 5, from verse 4 to 10. Then when you look at the book of Jeremiah 8, Jeremiah 9, in Jeremiah 8 from verse 10, and when you look at the book of Jeremiah 29 verse 11, only the thought I have for you is for peace and not for evil. Then when you look at the book of Psalm 11 verse 3, he said when the foundation is spoiled, there's nothing a righteous can do. When Obasanjo was a president, he was telling us when Awolowo won UPN, NPN, he won, when they were counting the election, he won in Kano, he won in Kaduna. He was winning the election from the north. But Awolowo jumped out because he was a puppet to the Fulani, to the Hausas, to the Northerners. He was just there as a fork. You know, there was a long stick that they normally used to carry bread from the oven. That's what they used Obasanjo to do. So he's not the original person. He cannot act. So they asked him to come and act that part of the film in the life of Nigeria. 1979, you know, it was Yar'Adua that's supposed to be there. But he ran to Celestia in that time. Maybe you don't know. You may be young. He ran to Papa Oshofa in K2. Papa Oshofa was his relative. Then Papa prayed for him that the very person that you were thinking the Yar'Adua that's going to be president, because he was going to be the president, he's going to reject it. He won't do it. He will give it to you. Then that was how Obasanjo became the first, was a military president. Because that the Yar'Adua then was a chain smoker. He smoked just like the Salenta of a Volkswagen. So then from there, Obasanjo became a president. Then they sat down on a round table to dialogue on how to rule Nigeria. You get what I'm saying? So, but he didn't prove as if Obasanjo was the president. No. When you look at what happened in the governor of Kaduna State, that was a Christian, he was killed because they believe it was a slap on them. But there is no Christian in Nigeria who asked about how that man was dropped from the plane, from the helicopter, till tomorrow, and the general that died with him. Even Gowon was to be in that inside that flat, that flight, but they called him in the night that he should not join. But that is going to be their last trip. Then the other time, now the other guy knew that if the general was still alive, he's going to contest with Goodluck Jonathan. So they look for their enemy and put it in that plane and wipe them away. So, but is that Christian ticket? Then when that one happened, it was Sam Obasanjo who told Awolowo, I was a Christian, that the best will not be the president. Then he went to go and look for Shagari, who was a school teacher. But the Lord punished him for that. His children died, a lot of things happened, he got blind and everything. So my brother, to come to your question, it looks as if Nigerians are sleeping. The country did not belong to Christians. There was a time when they decided to go and bring Israel to be part of those people who are protecting the security of Nigeria. But just for them to do whatever they want to do. When they are killing Christians in Kaduna, the Christian in Enugu, the Christian in Imo State, the Christian in Ondo State, the Christian in Lagos State, they said they are helping them in what? In prayer. They are cutting off the head of your co-brother. And when you look at the book of Acts of the Apostle 13 and Acts of the Apostle 12, he said something. Then when you look at the book of 1 Corinthians 12 from verse 12, he said Peter, Paul, don't grumble too much. It was my grace that covers you. Because when you look at the episode of what happened in the book of Acts of the Apostle 9, on his way to Damascus, and when you look at where something started, in the book of Acts of the Apostle 1, from verse 16 to 21, when the Lord fell on Matthias, they were thinking they have a good person to replace Judas Iscariot, not knowing that they are doing their own. When you look at the book of Hosea 8 verse 4, it said they institute a king without carrying me along, me God along. Then Hosea 8 verse 4, Hosea 4, and Jude 1 to 10. And when you look at Jonah chapter 1 from 6 to 11, then Jonah 2, Jonah 3. And even the last one, Jonah 4, from verse 10 to 16. Before Jonah got to Nineveh, the Lord himself has heard the prayer of the people of Nineveh. Then when you look at the book of Exodus 5, from verse 10 to 17, when Moses appeared before Ramses said, we are both born and raised in the same palace. Why do you want to give my government a bad name? If you should allow these people to go, who will work for us? Okay, look at the people shouting as a Christian. People who say they are Christian. Beans from the north, yam from the north, cucumber from the north, goat from the north, cow from the north, from so-called houses. They don't think about tickets. These are the people feeding them. And look at Hausa, look at the so-called Christian that's in Igbo land, in Edo, in Yoruba, in Ore, in Okitukuba. They were busy making love to their wife and raising children. Then in their detached room, in the high street in Benin, high street of Akure, high street of Lagos, in a long street, you will have 10 redeems. You will have 10 Christ Apostolic. You will have 10 Celestial Church. Ask me, what are they doing there? All the money they are making there are for their pastors. And they are using the big name Jesus Christ as business. The leftover business you can see around the whole globe now is church. So then those people now clamoring for Osinbajo was a Christian. Buhari was a Muslim. Who suggested the vice president for the president? It was TINUBU. But TINUBU could have gone and looked for a Muslim. But he believed this man is enlightened, he's brilliant, and he's doing everything. But to spoil the career of Osinbajo, short people have short memory. According to the book of Luke 16, Luke 19, and then Luke, in that Luke 19, we said when they invited Jesus Christ, the short man refused to contribute money. Then he decided to climb the tree. Then it was there the Lord now called on him and said, you come. I will make you what? Fishers of men. You get what I'm saying? Then if TINUBU should come in, peradventure he came in. People are clamoring that maybe TINUBU has settled me. Maybe he has given me money, but why is he turning around? I'm not God. I'm not after TINUBU. I'm not a politician. I'm not a government prophet. I'm not Olabayo. Olabayo was government prophet in his own time, but I'm not Olabayo. Olabayo was Babangida's prophet. Olabayo was a 4 o'clock p.m. Paper. So you go to the internet there because he has already fixed pastors all over the whole world. They helped him to get visa for those pastors. They went to Namibia, they went to Gambia, to Canada, to everywhere, posting all these people without wife. And those people were even like they were aspiring to travel out of Nigeria. Then on getting to the place, they cannot get paper. Because you are telling pastors not to fornicate. And you want to live in America, Canada, and everywhere, you have to do a arranged wedding. So who is fooling who? These are the Christians. These are your brothers saying ticket or no ticket. There are a lot of fanatics in Nigeria. There are a lot of newsmakers in Nigeria. There are a lot of freelance journalism amongst Nigerian populace. So don't bother about what they say. They can make noise, but they cannot act. There are a lot of spectators in Nigeria. You know, when Chelsea is playing Arsenal, there are going to be 11 players for Arsenal, 11 players for Chelsea, the referee and the 2 linesmen. You know what I'm saying? So Nigerians, they don't play football, but they watch football. They are spectators. And the Lord created 3 people in life. Those that made things to happen. Just like TINUBU. TINUBU has not lost election before. But he said he didn't know his left from his right. So be it. But when you look at Pastor, in his own time, he's what? He's an actor. These are people the Lord created to make things happen. Then when you look at Nelson Mandela, these are the people the Lord created to make things happen. Then when you look at Obama, and when you look at Tony Blair, and when you look at all these presidents, you see they pass through the tunnel, but they cannot put in the light. They are the people that make things happen. So when you see TINUBU in the field of where he's active, but now TINUBU like to get to the top, but sickness is telling him, I'm warning you. Sickness is telling TINUBU, I am what? I am warning you. Sit down and take your gratuity, take your retirement, all what you have in Bodilon, all what you have in the whole Lagos. Sit down and enjoy it well. But he will never listen. When you look at Psalm 49, from verse 1 to 10, it said, in their own thinking, they want all the street to be named by them. But at the end of the day, death will what? Feed on them. 2 Samuel 14:14, Ezekiel 14:14. When Ezerebe was alive, he said, Ezerebe, don't bring ammunition into this country again. Go and do other business. He said, no, I cannot do other business. But today, gun is coming to Nigeria, every nook and corner, all the borders, to every house. But they never legalize ammunition in Nigeria, but everybody has. They don't need to tell you to go and have self-defense. Because when they attacked Jesus Christ, in the book of Luke 22 from 45 to 56, he said, return your sword back to where you remove it. That's to say, they were using ammunition to guide Jesus Christ. And even he was telling us that anybody who did not have ammunition to go and sell and acquire to buy one. In the same Luke. You get what I'm saying? So, Muslim or non-Muslim ticket is not our headache for now. It's for us to go back to farm. It's for us to beg the government to allow to give us enough security so that we can go and till the land and make food and put food on our table. You know what I'm saying? You see, let me tell you something, sir. We don't need, Nigeria did not need anything from the presidency. You know somebody living in my village in Odiaye. If Adeboye should go to Odiaye to set up a revival on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, in my own town, Odiaye, you know, in those states, you won't meet anybody. Everybody's in the farm. There's no factory in that town. And when you go to Ilututun, there's no factory in Ilututun. Then when you get to Ore, it's all the truck that are passing across to Benin, across to Akure, that make the place, make things happening around the place. So Muslim or no Muslim, if you ask anybody in my village, some people then, who is the president? The man will say, what concerns us with president? Because their cocoa farm is eating. Then their palm tree, the palm kernel, they are cracking the kernel, they are making their oil, they are doing everything in their own little way. Go to Argentina. Nobody will talk about Muslim or Christian. Look, religion has nothing to do with governance. Religion has nothing to do with the progress of the land. Because it's a Muslim, it's Friday alone. Go to mosque on Friday and go to your work. Then on Sunday, go to church on Sunday. Because the Bible was telling us the book of Exodus 20. Exodus 20. He was telling us, then Exodus 14. Then when you look at Exodus, at the Numbers 12, Numbers 16, Numbers 17, and then Numbers 18, then Numbers 23, when a camel was talking to Balaam. But in what language? So automatically, if the Lord can use, then if the deputy decide to come back and then when they won the election, he said he changed to Christianity. Then what would they do? If the Lord touch his heart, if what they are doing is godly, the Lord can touch his heart and he changed to Christian. I've seen a lot of Muslim leaders, cleric, in Egypt, in Saudi Arabia, in America, everywhere that converted, changed to what? To Christianity. There are a lot of Christians too changing. Don't you know we have the same Father? When you look at the book of Genesis 15, Genesis 15 verse 1 to 10, Genesis 16 from verse 1 to 8, then Genesis 16 from 10 to the end. He said, this woman is pregnant. I have to send her package. Then he sent her package. But sending her package does not solve the problem. Then you still have that baby boy through the surrogate baby. Then later the Lord gave them Noah and gave them a well where they can get the water to drink. Then he established him. He said, but there's going to be a rancor between two of them. Then when you look at the book of Genesis 25, the same thing. They gave the same father gave them their inheritance. Because the heirs from the same man. He said, for you, this is your home. Isaac, this is your home. Then the 5 sons of Keturah, he gave to them. Even the bastards, that the Bible called what? Bastards. Then when you look at all the food, as I'm telling you, all come from the north. And when they are doing the budget, what they gave to those places, that's the reason why Babangida decided to divide the whole states. That there is not how you are going to vote. You are not going to beat us. Ibadan you can make 2 states out of Ibadan. We can make 2 states out of Ibadan. Then we can make 50 local government out of Ibadan. But they planted fear in the mind of all these people. They cannot operate. Look at Abu Karim Adisa from Kwara. He said Babangida is coming back. Babangida is coming back. These are Babangida boys. Until when he involved in an accident and died. You get what I'm saying? And when we're talking about Muslim or non-Muslim, Idi Agbon and Buhari, Idi Agbon is a Christian. Babatunde Idi Agbon. You get what I'm saying? Then they work hard then. Who is ruling them? Buhari name, Babangida, Idi Agbon working. So why are they in a hurry? Why are they what in a hurry over this? Is there any election yet? Because James was telling us in James 3, he said, you don't need to make any noise. Though if you wanted to go and set up a business, he said, don't say you are going to make profit, but just say if the Lord permits. In that same Muslim or non-Muslim ticket, my brother. So when you say this man is a Muslim, we did not bring any religion from heaven. And religion has nothing to do with the progress of any country. Go to Rwanda. When the man came in Kigali, he called virtually all the churches and the pastors. He banished virtually all of them. Yes. He locked everything down, both Muslim and Christian. He said, go back to work until the president, until anybody the Lord wanted to use for Nigeria, we don't respect the 2 religions. It will be then And when you look at the whole, we have, in the whole world, we have too much public holiday. They are not talking about that. Then when you get to Alausa, all the whole people in the hem of Afia in Alausa, they are all Muslim. Then when you get to Ibadan, and when you get to Abuja, when you get to House of Assembly, to everywhere, these are the things. That is what is happening there. Then when the Christians are fasting, see how the country is. Then when the country are wanted to lay out all these things, you see petrol virtually everywhere. Then anytime you wanted to do Christmas, then you'll be smelling from November, the scarcity, this and that, just to make sure they will hunt the Christian not to travel anywhere. You get what I'm saying? Because they believe we are lazy. People will converge with Adeboye. In the camp there with Adeboye or Yedebo. Then different type of what? Of camps. The government has given them holiday for 20 to go and come back on the 1st. But they won't go home. You know the Christians are very lazy. Christians are lazy. When you get to Kaduna where they are tilling the land, when you get to Jos where somebody, when the Fulani and the Hausas are tilling the land, they don't give us trouble before. We live with the Fulani, we live with the Hausas before. But now it was this kangaroo government of APC that make everything, that make us to know that, oh, and I told them before when Buhari was coming, there was a time when there was a rancor around Oyo State the other day, when they were killing the cattle rearers and everything. You know, Buhari came to fight the governor. Then why are you killing my people? We are going to revenge you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's a president. And you look at how Buhari which hunt our governor those days in 1983. That's Ajasi. And we won. We resisted it. You know what I'm saying? They are good Muslim. They are good Christian. Then the Yoruba said, Ajumobi Oshekini Kokotanu. Then Yoruba do tell us in a good language, in an adage that Iwa lesi. Iwa nikini, Iwa lesi. And the money we are spending today, no Muslim pictures is there. Awolowo picture is there. Zig picture is there. So, no matter the Arabic they wrote on it, that doesn't mean 50 naira is 50 naira in Abuja. 100 naira is 100 naira in Kano. So, they should forget and let me focus on how we can salvage our life. We need terrible revival within ourselves and our family. We should sit down and draw a scale of preference about our life. Where are you? Where are you wasting the money? Where are you exhausting? Where are you exhausting what you're supposed to keep for the family? Check it now. They're Muslim and non-Muslim. Look at what they did to that the minister for finance. That young lady that came from London was frustrated. Who planned against this lady? It was the governor of Ogun State. He's the one that brought him. He's the one that will shelter him. Then when you look at when the former governor of Ogun State, Amusu, when he was embezzled those money there, is he Muslim or is it Muslim ticket? Then when you look at the time when Oyilola was having his way in Lagos State, is it Muslim or Muslim ticket? Then when Dia was misbehaving, even making love to everybody's girlfriend everywhere, in those days he's a ruthless woman being. But do you know it's the bastard that joined the soldier before? He almost joined the soldier, so, but we should try and settle down. Let love reign. Let love what? Reign. Without love, we cannot enjoy this place. And when you look at the book of 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13, he said, hope, faith, and love. This is what we miss. This is what is missing in the midst of Nigeria during the time of Goodluck Jonathan. You know, during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, they were selling all government property. During the Obasanjo regime too, Atiku was busy selling and privatizing everything because he had settled Obasanjo. Before, when Obasanjo came out from prison, he gave him a check, 9-digit check. So how can, that was telling people, Obasanjo cannot fight Atiku. They know their way, they know themselves. So anybody that is writing on the page of the newspaper, there's a trouble between Atiku and Obasanjo, it's a lie. It's a lie. So they should allow the sleeping dog to lie. No Christian in Nigeria. Look at the man who just divorced his wife, Orisa Jafo. They caught him with what? With the helicopter in South Africa. Embezzling money, taking money there. Even the money did not come back to this country till tomorrow. Then he's a Christian. All the people criticizing that they are all noisemaker. Even they don't have voters card. If they have voters card, they have not voted before. Even in those states. He said take 1,000 naira and go and cook soup. And give us your voters card. During the time of Akeredolu, during the time of Mimiko, look at all these people. You know Mimiko did not want that election. It was TINUBU that helped TINUBU and Mimiko to be president. You know what I'm saying? But no, they have forgotten all these things. In Jalonde, turn it away. So all these Muslim and non-Muslim tickets, you should go and ask any pastor. Do we have any good pastor in Nigeria? What they only do in Nigeria was to paint God black and make Adeboye great. Has Adeboye paid 1/10 to God before? Then what do they gain as a redeemer? What do they gain as a celestial member? What do you gain from Catholic? Catholic is a church where real estate started from. When they get to your area, it's land they will grab. They are land grabbers. Then they will be what? Setting up estates. And later they said the Catholic has no plane. But that land, Alitalia belongs to what? To the Catholics. And when you go to Delta, go to Benin or Auchi area now, the Catholics are there. All the whole book they see from our forefathers in those days, they are now returning everything, doing herbal medicine. These are the people who said, don't use voodoo, don't use this, don't use that. So my brother. And now in the north, about 10, 20 years ago, they were planting a tree. And they never used the cargo plane to come and harvest. Oh, it's happening today. Look at Turkey. Half of 1/10. When you divide Turkey into 4, the Christian take about 3. Even in Syria. But go there and no Christian again. If you think America is coming to fight for you, it's a lie. Look at what is happening in Ukraine now. They've nearly ruined the whole place. They were testing what? They were testing the ammunitions there on people. That you think Russia can win, Ukraine can win Russia? It's a lie. It's a lie. But they wanted to set the cat before the mouse. It cannot work. They should not worry. We should look for what we are going to. We should go back to farm. We can even tell them we don't need the election. Don't waste that money for the election. Allow the government to continue. We don't bother. Because we don't gain anything since 1979. They don't open road. Look at the Ibadan road. It's under construction during Obasanjo regime. Obasanjo, good luck. Yeah, do it. Then you have two term of Buhari. The road is not completed. Then when you look at all the people who wanted to campaign, now look at Peter Obi. What can he use to campaign? What can he promise us? Nigeria already is a failed state. Nigeria is already what? It's a failed state.
For more prophecies and gospel news around the world, subscribe to 12 Star TV and turn on notifications.